Look, this is a difficult issue, and it's one that if you just look around the country, different states and different communities are pursuing different strategies based on the best available data and the guidance and the advice that they're getting. Our advice and the guidance that we issued from the Department of Public Health was that if a school has an individual or a parent who is symptomatic and tests positive, then they should close for 2 weeks, a school. But if they don't have anybody who's tested positive or is symptomatic, then they should continue to go to school. And that's been the guidance that we've put out, and many school districts in Massachusetts adopted that guidance, and others went in a different direction. And that's exactly what's playing out in many states across the country. And I do think it's important to remember that this all comes with the phrase, "at this time." People are making decisions based on the guidance they get from the experts and the best available information they have at this time. And as we've said since this whole thing started several weeks ago, it's an evolving issue, and as the issue evolves and as the facts change, decisions change, and that's what I expect will continue to be the case. We are deeply concerned about the lack of a response from Washington to make it possible for states like ours to dramatically expand our testing criteria and our testing capacity. The recent changes from the CDC with respect to testing criteria, which we just implemented, and the availability now of other labs, including LabCorp and Quest, to be able to test, will dramatically increase our ability to test, and that's a really good thing. So I think in some respects, we have a long way to go on this, but the feds do seem to be getting much better at providing a path for states like ours to test a lot more people, which we think is good. What we really want to do is make sure that we have the ability to test people who need to be tested. And whether it's as a drive-through or whether it's in an office or whether it's in a clinic or whether it's in a hospital, the key here is to make sure we test more people. One of the things, obviously, that we're going to be dealing with, not just as an employer, not just as state government as an employer, but I think all employers are going to be dealing with, is what's going to be the issue and the process for dealing with staffing going forward. And that's obviously something that we're talking among ourselves and talking to the unions about. Help us think about the things that we need to be worrying about next week or the week after. You mentioned hospital capacity. It's not an issue today, but it's absolutely something we believe the command center is going to take on as a fundamental assignment to figure out what the issues are with respect to hospital capacity going forward. I think on something this big, this complicated, spread across sort of all parts of society at this point, you need to have a central locus that can just focus on this.